if my insulin was 110, 120, 4 or 5 hours after a meal, that's a pretty good sign that I have significant insulin resistance. The only exception would be is if you just did some sprints or some running, you could have a stress response where your cortisol and adrenaline's mobilizing glucose, but your muscles are active and burning it. So it's not really a big deal. So great indication. So I like to run a fasting. Let's say I'm at 91. I'm going to eat my dinner. So I'll have my dinner and I'll test it tonight. I'm going to have eggs. It's breakfast for dinner. I'm going to do 4 eggs, sunny side up, cooked in butter, and some bacon. And I may do a handful of blueberries for dessert, right? I'll test my blood sugar. I'll probably be around 105 to 110. And then within 1 hour, I'll be back below 100. That's pretty much where I'll be just based on my experience. And so you don't have to do it all the time, but once you kind of test your core meals, hey, this is what a high carb meal looks like. This is what a low carb meal looks like. This is what it looks like after a workout. If I'm sedentary, 15,000 steps. I get about 15,000 steps every day, maybe 20. So that keeps me active. The more active you are, especially even just walking, you get those GLUT4 receptor sites on the muscle stuck up. They're like little fingers and they pull the glucose in. So movement can be very helpful because you're pulling glucose in without having to use insulin. So now you're not having to make more insulin. So you're not having to deal with insulin resistance problems. So movement, walking, great. Again, lifting weights, hypertrophy, bigger muscle equals a bigger sponge. So think about it. If your kid cleans up, if your kid messes up the table and spills some milk, right? If I have a bigger sponge, I can soak it up better. So bigger muscles equal bigger sponge. Plus, when you lift or do any interval training, you're going to get a growth hormone spike that lasts at least 1 day. So research shows 2 30-minute all-out sprints as fast as you can go increases your growth hormone for 2 days. So pretty cool out of the gate. So we really want to work on increasing hormones, and growth hormone can help a lot. Live recording. My kids are here trying to get the dog upstairs. All right. So blood sugar testing. So really important. Looks at insulin. If your insulin's off, guess what's going to happen? Your female hormones will be off. You will either, if you're a cycling woman, you can increase PCOS or androgens. It could increase estrogen dominance as well. If you're menopausal, the lower estrogen, lower progesterone makes you more insulin resistant. So your blood sugar may go off a little bit. And I like it because it's macronutrient diet agnostic. Just test how you're doing. Just see how you're doing. Hey, you're doing this diet. It's going to be bad. Just see how your blood sugar was, see how you felt in relation to your blood sugar. Number 2, if you're a guy too, it's going to increase aromatase. The more insulin you have, aromatase is going to take, with men, it's aromatase, which is testosterone and estrogen. In women, it's going to do the opposite. It's an upregulated enzyme called 1720 lyase that will increase female hormones to androgens.